Which is the happiest country in Asia?
Bhutan.
Bhutan, okay. Sorry? Singapore? Vietnam? Okay. Somebody said Pakistan. I asked this question. So,
South Korea.
Sorry?
South Korea.
Nepal.
Thailand.
Nepal, Thailand, yeah. India? I like your confidence. And one guy, when I asked this question, he said Belgium. I said, I'm going to ask you again. Happiest country in Asia. He said, sorry, Germany. And I said, okay, forget it. You're not getting it. All right, so, okay, I think you should give a round of applause to this gentleman. It's Bhutan. Great. Not bad, huh? You guys in IBM are brilliant. No wonder I was never working here. Okay. But I used to work in the same building long ago. So why is Bhutan happy? Tough question, right?
Less people.
Less people, okay.
I mean, it's mostly enriched with natural resources.
Enriched with natural resources, yeah, they're already carbon negative when the rest of the world is trying to be carbon neutral. They have a lot of plantation, the ecosystem is really great. But why are they happy? All these need not make them happy, right?
They are enjoying with what they have.
They are content with what they have. Limited stuff they have and they're happy, okay. Any other reason why they're happy?
Maybe the culture itself is like that.
Culture is to be happy?
To be satisfied.
Be satisfied with what you have, almost like what she's saying.
Pakistan is not near.
Pakistan is not near. Wow, I love that patriotism. Okay, Pakistan is not near. In fact, I keep asking this question wherever I go, and I was in this IT organization in Siruseri. There were like 150 people. The CEO was also sitting in front. I definitely don't want to name that company. One of the guys from the end, he shouted, I'm just putting you in that scenario, he shouted, there's no IBM there. Everybody burst into laughter and the CEO's face was completely blank. He was staring at me. Is there any need to ask this question? But that was supposed to be a joke there. So, what else could be the reason for
Maybe
these?
they love what they want to do.
Sorry?
They do what they love and
They do what they love, okay. And I've got some amazing answers from everybody, including college students, corporate like this. Somebody said there are no much married people there. Oh wow, that's a nice way to look at it. So,
How is happiness measured over here?
yeah, in fact, the growth of that company is measured in terms of other countries measure it in GDP, but they measure in terms of happiness index. So, apparently, they think about death at least 5 times a day. 5 times. How many of us even think about our death? At least once in our life. How many times do you guys think? During appraisal time? Forced marriage?
Whenever travel in OMR.
Oh, anywhere in Chennai. Forget OMR, anywhere in Chennai. Okay. So, in fact, our culture does not allow us to talk about death. Imagine one day you wake up in the morning and tell your mom, I think I'm going to die today. I've been bloody praying to God ever since you were born. The other day, an astrologer told me you have a gind life for 75 years, and you are coming and telling me that you want to die. Dare you talk about death? We all take death so lightly, right? But whereas the fact is, it can happen any time. In fact, we all can die right now. Not that I've come prepared. I might probably look like one. But I'm just saying, is there a possibility that we can die now? There is. Possibility is probably 0.0001%, which cannot be validated, but just for the sake of saying that. Imagine 7 days from now, we all are going to die. Exactly 7th day, everybody on this earth is going to die. My question to you is, what will you do for the next 6 days?
I'll eat biryani.
I will eat biryani all the days. All 6 days, 3 meals a day, biryani. High five. I'm with you. I'm with you. Alright, so, okay, eat biryani. What else would you do? I want you to take this question very seriously. Very seriously. 7th day, we all are going to die. What will you do? Travel all around, okay?
Spend time with the people who need.
Absolutely. Spend time with the closed ones, loved ones, with the family. Right?
Who is in need of people?
Sorry?
Who is in need of?
Who is in need of people? Probably go to an old age home and somebody is alone. Fantastic. I like that. What else would you do? One guy said, sir, I'll apply for leave. You will put it in your system. After 3 days, your manager will see that. And then he will grant you leave and the next day go and die. What? So process oriented we are, We can't do anything. Oh my God, I need to follow the process. You asked me about how I entered IBM. They didn't want me to come. They didn't want me to come. I know you guys wanted me, the security just didn't want me. At least I look like a human, so he told me decently. Otherwise, shoo. Right. Such a great company. I'm proud that I'm inside. Forget whether I'm talking or not. The moment he took me in, I was like, wow, Mount Everest, I've achieved something in life. So what do you do for the next 6 days?
So I will go for a good life insurance plan with a great sum assured.
So who will...
And then who will get that money? Look at the way the IT guys think. Useless fellows. By the way, I'm an IT guy, so I can relate to what you're saying. Obviously, even I will think insurance, take a home loan, or get into a house, griha pravesam, and then 7th day go to the grave. Wish fellows we are. Okay, so fine, take loan. One guy said, sir, I will take a loan from 4 banks. That's a good idea. That is also IT guy thinking only. Right? Then take a loan and vanish, go travel, do whatever you want. One lady said, I will go to the grave and cry. I didn't ask her beyond that. I was afraid I'll start crying. So I said, okay, ma'am, you go, no problem. One lady said, I will sit and pray that I don't die. I love that. Because life revolves around hope. Just because one idiot comes and says that you're going to die on the 7th day, it doesn't mean that it has to happen. I will probably pray to God and see if I can live at least for another day. Now my question is, in these 6 days, would you shun anger? Would you be angry with people? No way. Even the wife shouts, the husband, meaning actually it happens. He will behave as if nothing happened, okay? He will keep smiling. That's the worst thing that can happen to a wife, by the way. So you won't get angry, you're like absolutely nice to people. Would you go say sorry to somebody you have fought and never spoken to them in your life? Maybe die as a legend, man. At least go say sorry, talk to them for 2 days. Would you shun ego?
Yes.
It's okay, let him get promoted. 7th day, bloody, you're coming with me, man. High five. Wow. You deserve that post, man. You deserve that. I've been longing for you to get promoted. Wow. And that's like from the heart, okay? From the heart. Otherwise, we send a congratulatory mail and SMS. Wow, man, you deserve it. Nonsense. You see the facial expression. Right? Okay. So you would definitely shun ego, right? Why would you want to have ego, right? Would you shun inhibition? Inhibition. Guys, some of you don't understand Tamil, I'm sorry, but nothing great about what I just said. You have to be literally shameless. Would you be shameless?
Actually, you literally become a saint at that point of time.
Saint at the point of time.
Oh.
Just go sit there, chant. Definitely you'll have some 2-3 disciples. They won't even know what you're doing. Okay, they'll probably think that you are having some mantra for them to stay alive. But definitely, you will definitely shun inhibition, meaning your bucket list, right? You will become that singer outside the bathroom. Would you? All these days you've been singing and you've been thinking that you are like Chitra, Lata Mangeshkar, all inside that bathroom. You will be a fantastic dancer inside the bathroom. Right? Would you just come out and then say, one day I want to just step out, man, 6 days, let me live my life, let me show my skill to everybody, and then live absolutely happy. Right? One guy actually told me, sir, I will go middle of the road, stand in the middle of the road, and I said, stop. I don't want explanation. I didn't know where he was getting to. So, relax. One guy actually stood up. In fact, I'll never forget this guy. He stood up and said, sir, I'll go straight, stand in front of my boss cabin and shout at him for 6 days. Kandipa, I look at the frustration. poor guy, maybe his appraisal just got over. He's been longing. He actually stood up and told me this. I said, dude, you're not dying. Your boss is the same for the next 2 generations. He was the most dissatisfied guy, and after that he never stood, never raised his hand. He was not in this room. He took my question seriously. I can't help it, right? So this is what happens. The reason I'm asking you this question is, I keep asking this question to myself as well. Why are you not doing all this now? Only when you're threatened that you're going to die, we all think of happiness, spending time with wonderful people, shun ego, shun inhibition, shun anger. Why are we not doing this now? Is a question that I keep asking myself, and I thought it's fair enough to ask you as well. I wanted to think about this very seriously. Death can happen anytime. We lost one of our Toastmasters colleagues just 10 days back. She was attending a Toastmaster contest. She was a contestant. She was walking back home. A biker, a reckless biker, went and hit her. She fell down and she was declared brain dead. She's just 30. And her parents, you can imagine what they went through. They were expecting her daughter to come home for lunch, and she had just called and said, I'm 5 minutes away. She's gone. They donated her 7 organs, and today 7 people are living through her. And again I keep thinking, man, what's happening to this world? And we all take death so lightly. The only reason I'm asking you to take it seriously is that you will have a completely different perspective about your life, about others' life. You will have a completely different perspective. And why am I saying this in a Toastmasters meeting? Just for one point. Shun inhibition. The reason why we are not performing to the best of our ability is that because we have some inhibition. What will people think? What if I make a grammatical error? You don't learn public speaking in Toastmasters. At least I've not learned. I've learned confidence. I used to be this small, tiny, shy guy in a small township called Neyveli, not far away from Chennai. The only thing we guys knew was school, home, home, school. That is how most of us landed in prestigious institutions across the world. And I landed by mistake in a college called BITS Pilani up north in Rajasthan. I've never stepped out of Neyveli. I didn't even know how Chennai looked. I used to dread people coming home because they will ask me this complicated question, what is your name? I used to literally go and hide behind the door. My father was so embarrassed. He was just wondering, what kind of a son am I growing up? And he had his entire bet on me. When I went to college, it was a culture shock for me. There were people from different parts of the world speaking a language that I've never heard of in my life, and that was supposed to be English. I was pathetic in English, pathetic in my mother tongue Malayalam, pathetic in Tamil where I grew up. Overall, I was pathetic in communication. And I was shy. I was an introvert, and worse in language. This is the deadliest combo that any human being should never have in their life. I used to go into a shell, and those days we had ragging, and I was the most wanted. Most wanted. I never made friends. I used to be alone all the time. Every time I walk alone to the class, one day, there was my classmate, a girl from Chennai. From nowhere, she appeared and started walking along with me. I was like, what's happening? More than me, guys around me were shocked. To this guy, there's a girl next to him, and we are not talking to each other, okay? She's just walking along with me. You know why? Whenever the guys ask me, hey, are you going to the class? I just simply nod my head, no. Did you have your breakfast? I was an expert in sign language. This girl actually thought I was dumb. She used to come stand right in front of me and ask me. You can imagine these guys, right? When women ask like this, they put some extra drama. I just bend it. So we started sign language between us. And that is how our friendship grew. 1989, I don't know how many of you were born then. We were traveling in the train from Delhi to Chennai for our semester holidays. December 15th, middle of the night, she was sleeping right across my berth, pitch dark. Stop imagining. Pitch dark. Because I was narrating the story at SSN the other day. SSN college, there were like 500 kids sitting in a, I said pitch dark, the entire crowd, I was like too much into the story, I was trying to narrate something. I was like, what the hell is happening? So I'm a little worried. After that, I started adding this one line across, stop imagining. And again they said, I said, guys, I have something serious to tell you. Will you allow me to proceed? And I just like simply ignored them and said, I am proceeding because I just had 17 minutes to finish my speech. This girl woke me up, middle of the night. She woke me up and said, Jai. I couldn't believe she was waking me up. I immediately pinched myself. She asked me, will you marry me? I said, yes! The entire compartment woke up. I pretended as if I was sleeping. I couldn't believe what happened. For a moment, I thought she had a nightmare. And this was part of the nightmare. And I was the lead role in that nightmare. And then later I realized, probably she thought it's nice to have a mute husband. Which girl would not like to have one? And the rest of the night we spent at the door of the compartment. How romantic. And that was my biggest turning point in my life because she hails from a family who's into theater. Her father blows the whistle immediately. There are 3 siblings. They will just climb on stage and do mono acting, do speeches. Swami Vivekananda, all kinds of nonsense they will do. And then she looked at me and said, if you are as dumb as what you are, my father will never, ever allow you to marry me. Finally, I had a goal in my life. I had a purpose. Coming to Bits Palani was my dad's goal. I never bothered. Send me wherever you want. Not in South India, where my relatives are. So I said, okay, fine. Then finally I woke up to a goal, I woke up to a purpose, and I knew there is a meaning for me to do something in life. She said, you better start talking. I said, how? I'll teach you. Over the next 1.5 years, she was teaching me how to speak, meaning how to even interact with people. Studies, anyway, she was writing my notes. I just go do my exams. People still couldn't believe the fact that there was a girl next to me for the next 1.5 years. That kind of gave me confidence. Wow, you are dumb. Still luck happens. Still luck happens. There's one girl next to you that will give you confidence. I used to kind of like stretch my shoulder and walk to the class. You should see fumes coming out of people. I'm a Shakespeare range English singer, guitarist, no girl. They're like wondering, there's something wrong in that formula. I didn't care. For me, I had a goal in it. I didn't even care whether I'm getting a job or not. She's from Chennai. I got a campus interview in Eveready Batteries in Calcutta. I dumped that job. I don't care. I'm heading to Chennai. I came to Chennai, walked the streets of Chennai just to get one small job, and I landed. I did my computer science, by the way. I've never written a line of code. No wonder I'm healthy. Right? So, I landed a marketing job. Do you know what these marketing guys in IT do? Kaila pai. This was expected from me with a guy who doesn't even know how to communicate, doesn't know English. He's supposed to cook stories about products that never existed. I failed miserably. Still date, this boss of mine is my godfather because he still believed in me. He still kept me in the job. But I knew I had to improve my English. So 4 of my colleagues in the office, it's a tiny office, and I told them one day, hey, from tomorrow we'll start talking in English. They burst into laughter. You know, what the hell are you talking? And you might be wondering how I got 4 friends. Only criteria, no English. We all became friends because we don't know English. There's this one guy, Rangaswamy, he did his MCOM those days. He's from a tiny village between Salem and Erode. He was a finance guy in my company. Basically counting some notes and then writing that entry into register. But all our parents thought we were in a hi-fi IT job. This was just a 2-bedroom flat behind Brilliant Tutorials in T Nagar. That was the office. We didn't even have proper chairs. We used to play musical chair because if somebody gets up, we'll go and That is how we used to take turns. What? Sorry? IBM also still happens? Fantastic, man. Fantastic. That's like kind of a culture, right? So, July 11th, 1992, I started this exercise of learning English. I brought the Hindu newspaper for 75 paise, went to a tea shop, and I told these guys, no matter what, I want to survive in life. I have a job to keep, I have a goal to meet. I need these two in my life. And that girl told me that if I'm not confident that you can speak, I'm not going to take you in front of my dad, whenever it is. But let me give you one assurance, I'll wait for you. So that was a big assurance for me. So I decided to learn English. 1 word a day is the criteria. Every day we learn a word a day. And those days it's difficult, no Google. We picked up a dictionary from some lending library in T Nagar, and unfortunately that was English to English dictionary. So we failed, we gave it back, and we took an English to Tamil dictionary because Rangaswamy was supposed to be great in Tamil. All of us agreed because all of us were pathetic in Tamil. So he was a Tamil teacher for us, and he used to translate, and that is how we understood. Even today I learn a word a day. Even today. It's almost 26 years since I started. 20 minutes? Okay, another 10 minutes, is it okay?
Yes.
If I take? Yeah?
Yeah, right, cool.
Oh, cool? Okay, cool. So, you might think this guy might be knowing all the words in the whole world. No way. 20%. I think probably 20% of what I've learned over the last 26 years is still in my head. But the best part of the subconscious mind is it records everything. Married women understand this better. Your subconscious mind will record every damn thing that is happening in front of you. Especially it has to do with something with the husband, it will record twice. Just in case one copy get erased, they'll immediately retrieve the other copy and then play it and show 15 years ago, morning 7 o'clock, you did this to me. And you blink for 3 minutes, you're finished. Within 2 minutes, you need to give an answer. If that answer is sorry, you survive. Okay, so it is like that. I've understood this really well in my life. So you can see me now, I'm standing here. Right? So I'm going to cut this story short. Even today, when Rangaswamy, who is from that village near Erode, Suresh, by the way, works in IBM in Boston. Right? So, and then Kumar, he heads shared services in Mindtree. Rangaswamy is in Kenya. He's a CFO of a large group managing some 12 billion worth of transactions. And all these guys, even today, when they call me, they thank me immensely. They said, had he not started this English exercise way back in 1992, we wouldn't be where we are. That day I understood. I never knew what I was heading. But I wanted to learn English, sharpen my language so that I can survive and get a girl of my life. But today, looking back, I feel that I think our language is the foundation for any communication. Otherwise, you need to remain a sign language expert. The reason why I'm emphasizing this is Toastmasters never teaches you English. Many people come in thinking that they're going to teach me English. That's how I got into Toastmasters. But they don't. They help you sharpen your thinking process. Like if you ask me, is there a fear of public speaking? No way. There's nothing called fear of public speaking. There's only fear of failure. We all are scared that we will fail in front of people. I had that fear. When I got into Toastmasters, I couldn't speak for nuts. But somehow my English was a little better. And I kept sharpening my language. I have miles to go, miles to go. In fact, some of the words that I learned, I used to wonder, wow, where did they find these words? There was this word I learned called tantamount. Imagine your boss is writing you saying, Jayan, your job today is tantamount to that of donkeys. I will say, thank you so much, sir. Very kind of you. Apparana poi Google meaning pata tantamount means equal to. Right? Sometimes we might end up goofing up like this. Okay, so it's very important that we learn this language. One thing I learned in Toastmasters, I'm going to wind up in next exactly 6 minutes, is nothing to do with public speaking. The very first thing that I learned is punctuality. Punctuality. It might be shocking. I had a mentor in CSC way back in 2006 when we started this club in CSC in MEPS in Chennai. I was there and Kumar was the VP membership and I was VP education, and JP, Janaki Prasad Patnaik, he was the president of the club. We started 1:30 afternoon every Wednesday. And we used to go to lunch together and then we walk back around 1:20 at a 300-seater auditorium, but of course 30-35 people come. And then Kumar and I was sitting right in front, and then JP, we call him JP, and he was standing right in front of us, and we were generally chatting, waiting for people to come in. And suddenly JP looked at his watch and said, "Good afternoon, Toastmasters." Both Kumar and I were like completely stunned. We turned back, there was nobody. And we started laughing. This guy just didn't care. The mission of the Toastmasters Club is this. It took 5 minutes for us to understand this guy is bloody serious. So we came to composure. Oh, okay, fine, fantastic. Keep your mobile phone in silent. Okay, immediately silent. Okay, taboo topic. And he was not even the sergeant at arms that day, but he took that role. And today, okay, fine, let me call the presiding officer. Janaki Prasad Patnaik. He just walked there and came back and said, "Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen." Day. Looks like an idiotic thing to do, right? I'm the presiding officer. So today the general evaluator is Jayan Narayanan. Man, you never told me that's not I was like, "Jayan Narayanan, come here." He like shook my hand, pulled me in and said, "Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, my role, general evaluator." I like fumbled like mad. I was not prepared. And then I said, "Today we don't have our counter timer." Immediately he wrote, "Who said there is no our counter?" "Kumar is the our counter." Our counter. "Okay, Kumar, come here." And today my our counter, anybody at us, our manually okay, he's selling. And then timer, okay, only you are left. Janaki Prasad Patnaik. Immediately he came and timer. For almost 15 minutes we were playing this. And people were just trickling in. They were like wondering what the hell is happening. Gentlemen, then JP is a very strict guy. He said, "Gentlemen, you're not supposed to disturb when the meeting is happening. I'm just going to give you 1 second. If you may want to sit down or get out." They didn't have a clue as to what was happening. That day I learned the power of punctuality. After that I was never ever late to a meeting. Today I'm driving from one corner of the city, Sholinganallur. I was here at 2:45 because I was scared that I will be 5 minutes or even 2 minutes late. It's okay to be early. It's okay to be early. I want to share this experience with me. Please be punctual wherever you're going, even to the graveyard. Be on time. You will be appreciated, right? The next thing that I learned in Toastmasters is confidence. We all are amazing public speakers. We are manufactured to communicate. We are manufactured to swim, actually. Why we don't swim? Fear of drowning, fear of losing our life. If you ask any swimmer the technique to swim, they will explain the same method you have in your mind. Jump into the water, beat your legs, beat your hand, you swim, but I drown. It's all in the mind. Try it out. If some of you are not swimmers, try it out. So that's what I learned in Toastmasters, confidence. And finally, just to wind, I want to share this information with you. Whenever you come here to speak, write down a script, by heart it some 100 times, give it to your mentor. Mentor will usually tell, third line, go to left. Fourth and fifth line from this point, then go to that side. This is what usually mentors say. Hell with all these guys. You stand where you want to stand, where you feel like comfortable. You want to stand on the table, stand. You want to sit on the carpet, sit. Because you need to be absolutely in control of yourself when you want to talk to people, because the most important thing is how you're connecting with the audience. Not generally coming and blabbering about global warming when nobody cares about what global warming is all about, because that is your favorite subject. You have by-hearted it 100 times. Your mentor said, "Fantastic, man, amazing, amazing." Just because you need to play with voice modulation, you say, "Global warming." Nobody still cares. Nobody still cares. Okay? So don't try all these funny stuffs. Come and connect with the audience, because it is about them and not about you. They are wasting their time. They are sacrificing their time to come and listen to you. You better make it good for them. You need to connect. You need to be your grandmother. Grandmother connects with grandchildren. Do you know how they do it? I'm sure most of you have had this experience. They live everything. And when they come in front of a grandchild, that's what is important for them. And that is why grandchildren are so passionate about being with grandparents, not with parents. Mom is watching TV serials, she won't even acknowledge she had a kid. Very serious these days, right? So that is what is important. And how do I develop this? Always think what is in it for them. Don't think what is in it for me. Don't come here to win, come here to lose. Come here to fail. What I mean by that is, come and try something new that you've never tried in your life. I'm such a shy guy. I'm an introvert. I'm still a shy guy. I'm still an introvert. I'm trying to get out of this shell. How? I come stand in front of strangers and try. That's what I'm currently doing. Otherwise, I have no inclination to come and fall in love with IBM. No. They refused a job 20 years ago. I forgave them. So I have no business. But the reason I'm coming here to just share my experience. So please, next time when you get an opportunity to come and stand here, don't say no. You all are here out of your own will. You are investing your time. He said people don't come to the meeting. Hell with them. Even if it is 3, start your meeting. They will see value in X, Y, and Z, they'll come. They look at me, I'm a demo piece these days. They take me everywhere. Arvind takes me to every demo meeting. He'll say, we're going to show one guy. And they're like struggling, where is the guy? Don't worry, he'll appear. And I keep talking. And then I become so passionate about this because 2006, I went for a demo meeting in Foston Sullivan. And I introduced myself. Look here, my name is Jayan Narayanan. I have 2 sons. One is 9.5 years old, another one is 9 hours old. I just had a kid that morning. They called me for a demo meeting and I said, I'm going. Kid is anyway out. He doesn't even recognize his father. It will take some time. It's okay, take a break. My wife still doesn't pardon me for that crime that I committed that day. But I'm passionate about developing myself and I've come a long way. It has helped me immensely in my life. So the final parting words. This is nothing to do with Toastmasters, it is about our life. If you want to understand the value of your life, you need to go to 3 places. The hospital, to understand health is very important. To the jail, to understand freedom is very important. To the cemetery, to understand life is nothing. The ground that you walk today can be your roof tomorrow. What are you worrying about? Simply enjoy your life and develop yourself. Thank you so much for your time.